The topic for discussion is positive displacement flow meters. Before moving into the positive displacement flow meters, we need to understand what is a differential pressure transmitter, in short called as DPT. The most common and useful industrial pressure measuring instrument is the differential pressure transmitter. And this equipment will sense the difference in pressure between two ports and produce an output signal with reference to a calibrated pressure range. The diagram which is put up here gives you an imagination of how a real-time DPT would look. Moving on to the applications, it's used in oil and gas flow metering in onshore, offshore and subsea applications, water and effluent treatment plants. It is largely used to monitor filters in these plants. It is used to monitor sprinkler systems, remote sensing of heating systems for steam or hot water. Pressure drops across valves can be monitored and pump control monitoring. So now coming into the positive displacement flow meters, we say that the only flow measuring technology to directly measure the volume of fluid that passes through the flow meter is the positive displacement flow meters. It achieves by trapping pockets of fluid between rotating components housed within a high precision chamber. And this can be compared to a repeatedly filling a beaker with fluid and pouring the contents downstream while counting the number of times the beaker is filled. When we see about the types, there are basically four types of positive displacement flow meters. The first is the nutating disc type, second is reciprocating piston type, third is oval gear type, and the last is helix type. So the first type of positive displacement flow meter is a nutating disc type flow meter, and these are one of the most common types of positive displacement flow meter. They operate by having a disc mounted to a central ball as shown in the diagram in the center just below the black rod which is placed, and the second diagram tells you how a real-time nutating disc type flow meter would look. Now when fluid enters the chamber through the in arrow which is shown, it causes the disc in the center to wobble or nutate, and this is how it's got the name nutating disc type flow meter. And that transfers the displayed volume to the register. Something to keep in mind is that due to the nutating disc nature, the accuracy of this type of flow meter can be adversely affected by the fluctuations in the liquid viscosity. So the liquid enters a precision machined chamber containing a disc. Now the position of the disc divides the chamber into two compartments containing an exact volume. The liquid pressure drives the disc to wobble and the roller cam causes the nutating disc to make a complete cycle. This motion is again translated into a rotatory motion by means of a ball and a shaft which is attached to the disc. The movements of the disc are transmitted by a gear train to an indicator or a pulse transmitter. We also say that there are inherently more leakage paths in the design and it tend to be used where longer flow meter life is required rather than high performance. Now, however, the close clearances between the disc and the chamber ensure minimum leakage for accurate and repeatable measure for each volume cycle. We also say that the disc attached to a sphere is mounted inside a spherical chamber. As the fluid flows through the chamber, the disc and the sphere unit nutates. The nutation causes a pin mounted on the sphere perpendicular to the disc to rock. Now each revolution of the pin indicates a fixed volume of liquid that has passed. A mechanical or electromechanic sensor detects the rocking of the spin and hence the flow is measured. Now the advantages and disadvantages are: advantages may be constructed from a variety of materials and high accuracy and repeatability. The disadvantages: accuracy is adversely affected by viscosities below the meter's designed threshold. The second type of positive displacement flow meter is the reciprocating piston type flow meters, and this is the diagram which tells you how a piston is going to look when a flow is going to be measured using this type. In the reciprocating piston meter, which is shown schematically here, the reciprocating piston passes the liquid alternately through each end of the cylinder from the inlet to the outlet ports and operates the counter. Now here a number of piston operations on a center crank are generally incorporated in this type of flow meters. For a low flow, the differential pressure is small, for which the larger diameter pistons and small piston strokes are chosen with a minimum of friction. Accuracy of this flow meter is within 0.5%. Now, although piston meters are smaller in size and also considered apt for handling only low flows of viscous liquids, yet they are proficient enough to deal with an extensive range of liquids. Major application areas of reciprocating piston meter includes viscous fluid services like oil metering on engine test standards, specifically where the turn down ratio is not considered much crucial. Now also these meters can be employed on residential water service where they tend to pass partial quantities of dirt and fine sand along with water also. Now this is how a real-time reciprocating piston flow meter is going to look. Now the third and a very interesting type is the oval gear type flow meters. They are traditional mechanical positive displacement flow meters which was first invented more than 50 years ago by Oval Corporation of Japan and now widely used for the flow metering applications. And the oval gear meter measure flow by employing a geared rotor to pass through a known volumes of fluid through a housing. Now this is the diagram which tells you how an oval gear is going to look. So very precisely adjusted gear pair with the casting forms the measuring element. Therein the flowing medium causes gear pair to rotate. The rotatory motion is scanned by a contact lens sensors, and since each individual tooth generates a pulse, this results in a very high resolution. Consequently, even the smallest volumes can be measured or dosed precisely. The suitable processing of the signal provides a greater resolution and the option to identify the flow direction also. Basically, the measurement accuracy increases with increase in the viscosity of the medium. Now, this diagram tells you how a real-time oval gear flow meter is going to look. Now again, this comprises of a oval shaped gear rotors which rotate within a housing of specific geometry. The fluid differential pressure causes the intermeshing gears to rotate, trapping a pocket of fluid between the gear and the outer housing and then subsequently emptying the fluid pocket into a downstream flow. The capillary action of the metered fluid forms a liquid seal. Each pocket holds a precise and a known volume of fluid, So the counting the pocket frequency gives a measurement of the volumetric flow rate. This is typically achieved by embedding magnets in the rotors, which then accurate a reed switch or provide a pulse output as they rotate. Moving on to the working of oval gear type flow meter. Now, as shown in the diagram, there are three positions uh, which tells us how the flow is going to take place. The first, we'll move on to the position A, where uniform forces are applied equally on the top and the bottom of oval gear B, so that the gear does not rotate. The rotor A has entrapped a known volume of liquid between the rotor and the meter body, and there is a balance force on the bottom of the gear. However, there is a force on the bottom of the gear A causing it to rotate clockwise, and this causes gear B to rotate in the counterclockwise direction to the position B. Now, in position B, the fluid enters the space between the gear B and the meter body. As the fluid that was entrapped between the gear A and the body simultaneously leave the area of entrapment, the higher upstream pressure opposes the lower downstream pressure at the ends of gear A and B, which makes the gear A and B to continue in rotation in clockwise as well as counterclockwise directions respectively to position C. In this position C, a known amount of fluid has been entrapped between gear B and the meter body. This operation is then repeated with each revolution of the gears representing the passage of 4 times the amount of fluid that fills the space between the gear and the meter body. Therefore, the fluid is directly proportional to the rotational velocity of the gears. Again, if slippage between the oval gears inside the housing is small, the flow rate and viscosity are high, then these meters can provide high accuracies. So this diagram clearly tells you how the flow is going to take place. So this is my first position where my flow is going to enter into it, or the fluid which is going to enter into my gear. And as said, what happens is, if you can see, we find that the flow is entering into the portion of A, and when A takes a clockwise direction, the A fills in the space. Okay, so the water is trapped here and the flow goes in into your B. And again, taking a direction of rotation, we find that the entrapped water in A flows through the next portion. Okay, and that moves out finally. The same thing happens to your gear B also. When the water flows here, and with the help of the counterclockwise direction, water gets entrapped and the water flows out. So this is how an oval gear type flow meter is going to work. The advantages and the limitations of oval gear are, the advantages are traditional, proven for flow technology, simple to install, no straight pipe runs required, so flow meters can be installed in restricted areas. And the limitations are not suitable for stream or multi-phase fluids. Fluid slippage adversely affects the accuracy, and this varies with flow rate, differential pressure, temperature, viscosity and clearance. It is not recommended for low viscosity fluids including water or water-like fluids, and the accuracy adversely affects by bubbles present inside the fluids. And the last type of flow meter is the helix type flow meters. This diagram shows you how a helical type is going to look practically. The helix flow meter is a positive displacement device utilizing two uniquely nested radically pitched helical rotors as the measuring elements. The close measuring tolerances will ensure that minimum slippage and thus having a high accuracy. With this, we have come to the end of positive displacement flow meters. Thank you.